Once upon a time, in a cozy little corner of the world, lived a mother pig with her 3 adorable little pigs. They had grown so big and so adventurous that their mother knew it was time for them to head out into the world and build their own homes. With a loving hug and a basket of goodies for each, she waved them goodbye, reminding them to always do their best and to beware of the big bad wolf. The first little pig, full of excitement and perhaps a little bit lazy, didn't want to spend too much time building. As he trotted along, he met a farmer carrying a bundle of straw. "Please, sir," he oinked politely, "could I have some of that straw to build my house?" The farmer kindly agreed, and in no time at all, the first little pig had built a lovely little house of straw. He danced around his new home, singing, "I've built my house of straw. I've built my house of straw. I'm safe from the wolf, and I'll play all day long." He was very pleased with himself. The second little pig, a bit more thoughtful but still eager to play, saw his brother's quick work and decided he didn't want to work too hard either. Soon he came across a man with a bundle of sticks. "Excuse me," he said with a smile, "may I have some of those sticks to build my house?" The man gave him a big armful, and the second little pig got to work. It took a little longer than the straw house, but soon he had a neat little house made of sticks. He joined his brother, and they sang and danced together, feeling very clever. Now, the third little pig was different. He was patient and wise. He remembered his mother's words to always do his best. He knew that a house of straw or sticks wouldn't be very strong. He walked a long way until he met a man with a heavy load of bricks. "Good day, sir," he said respectfully. "Could I please have some of your bricks to build a strong house?" The man, impressed by the little pig's diligence, gave him all the bricks he needed. Building with bricks was hard work. The third little pig worked all day long, carefully laying each brick with strong mortar. His brothers came by and teased him. "Why are you working so hard?" They laughed. "Come and play with us. The wolf won't bother us." But the third little pig just shook his head and kept on working. "I want my house to be safe and strong," he said. Finally, his sturdy brick house was finished, complete with a strong wooden door and a big fireplace with a chimney. He felt tired, but very, very proud. The very next day, who should come prowling through the woods but the big bad wolf? He was big, he was bad, and he was very, very hungry. His sharp eyes spotted the little straw house. He crept up to the door and knocked. Little pig, let me come in," he growled in his sweetest voice. The first little pig's heart jumped. "Not by the hair on my chinny chin," he squeaked. The wolf's sweet voice vanished. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," he roared. And he huffed and he puffed, and with one mighty breath he blew the straw house all to pieces. The terrified little pig squealed and ran as fast as his little legs could carry him to his brother S house of sticks. The big bad wolf, licking his lips, followed right behind him. He arrived at the stick house and saw 2 frightened little pigs peeking out the window. "Little pigs, let me come in," he called out. "Not by the hair on our chinny-chin-chins." They both shouted back, trying to sound brave. "Then I'll huff and I'll blow your house in." The wolf bellowed, so he huffed. And he puffed, and he huffed, and he huffed and puffed again. The stick house wobbled, and then it tumbled down in a heap. The two little pigs screamed and raced away, heading straight for their brother's house of bricks. They scrambled inside just as the wolf arrived. Angrier and hungrier than ever, he banged on the strong wooden door. Little pigs, let me come in." The three pigs, huddled together, replied, "Not by the hair on our chinny-chin-chins." "Then I'll huff and I'll blow, and I'll blow your house in." The wolf roared, confident he could win. He huffed and he puffed. Nothing happened. He huffed again, his face turning red. Still, the brick house stood firm. He huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed until he was completely out of breath, but he couldn't move a single brick. The house was just too strong. The wolf was furious, but also clever. He decided to try a trick. "Little pig," he said sweetly to the third pig, "I know where there's a nice field of turnips." "Where?" asked the pig. "In Mr. Smith's field." "I'll come for you tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and we can go together." But the third little pig was smarter. He woke up at 5 o'clock, went to the field, gathered a basket of turnips, and was back home, cooking them for breakfast long before the wolf arrived. At 6, the wolf knocked. "Little pig, are you ready?" The little pig smiled. "Ready. I've already been and come back. I'm having delicious boiled turnips for breakfast." The wolf was enraged. He tried again. "Little pig, I know of a wonderful apple tree down at Merry." "What time will you be there?" asked the clever pig. "At 5 o'clock tomorrow morning," said the wolf. Of course, the little pig went at 4 o'clock. But this time, gathering the apples took longer than he expected, and just as he was climbing down the tree, he saw the wolf coming. Thinking fast, he threw an apple as far as he could. While the wolf was chasing it, the little pig scrambled down and ran all the way home. The wolf was absolutely furious now. He had been outsmarted twice. He decided there was only one thing left to do. He climbed onto the roof of the brick house and shouted down the chimney, "I'm coming to get you." The three little pigs heard him scrambling above. The third little pig, quick as a flash, had an idea. He told his brothers to help him put a big pot of water on the fire. They quickly built up the flames, and the water began to boil just as the wolf started to slide down the chimney. With a final angry growl, the wolf squeezed his way down and ... splash. He fell right into the huge pot of boiling water. With a yelp of surprise and pain, he shot back up the chimney like a rocket and ran away into the woods, never to be seen again. The first two little pigs were so grateful to their clever brother. They learned a very important lesson that day. It's always worth taking the time to do things right. From then on, they all lived together happily and safely in the strong little house of bricks. They still sang and danced, but now they understood that hard work and preparation are the keys to true security and peace of mind. And that's the story of the three little pigs. But it reminds us that shortcuts might seem easy at first, but putting in the effort and building a strong foundation is what truly keeps you safe and sound in the end. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.